Bad information is better than no information. Of course, people want good information, but if they can't get good information, still, bad information is better than none. How, and few people talk about this, though Chris Voss does and Rory Sutherland. Now here's a similar related topic most people do understand, most people do talk about, is it's often known and accepted that with children rather good attention. And if children cannot get good attention, children rather bad attention than no attention. That means children will often do anything to get bad attention. Now, how does that relate to bad information? Is it crazy to say, like, how crazy is it that people rather bad information than no information? Rory Sutherland, famous economist, talks about it as he gives the example of taxi companies have learned customers want some information, good, bad, or ugly, or otherwise. It's better than no information. So taxi companies give clients Google Maps link to where the car is that's picking them up. The same with Lyft and Uber. Because clients want some information, good, bad, or ugly, is better than no information. I remember in the old days, before smartphones, before the internet, we used to call the taxi company to ask how long it would be before the car comes, because we'd wait and wait and wait without information, without hearing back from the taxi company. If the taxi company doesn't tell us how much longer we have to wait, and everybody's got different levels of patience and urgency, and so we would sometimes phone the taxi company. And this is exactly what Chris Voss talks about. Nobody talks about in therapy. It seems therapy doesn't understand the importance of giving bad information or consistent information, keeping the client informed. Chris Voss explains it this way. He said they want regular updates. Even if there's no information. Here, the worst case scenario, when there's no information, hostage negotiators would phone families of hostages to say there is no information. There's no new information, there's no different information, there's no information. And that would make people happy to know that there's no new information. I mean, crazy to say that a loved one might be taken hostage and the family could be in pieces, wondering what's ever come of their loved one. Now it makes me want to talk about the bad news, and that I don't remember how I've explained it before, but it's important to know that families want to know, they're happy to know if their loved one has been killed. As bad as information as that is, at least it's information they can move forward with. As I speak, it makes me think I might have a theory on that, and that it's not just the person that's held captive whose life is in danger, but it's also the lives of the family who's also held captive. Chris explains this by saying, Chris Voss explains this as people would die to maintain autonomy. That's how strong of an emotion that is, that we want to maintain autonomy, and when a loved one's life is held captive, it's not just the hostage, the loved one whose life is being held captive, it's also the lives of the family whose every moment is controlled by a terrorist. And so when it seems like when a loved one is held captive, often means the family is unable to do anything, unable to do what they want. They're at edge every moment of every day, trying to find out if they can move forward with their life with or without their loved one. Of course, most people would want to see their loved one, though as morbid as it sounds, it also sounds like Chris Voss is saying people want bad news, that their loved one may be dead, so that they can move on with their life, though the most important thing is how you deliver that bad news. Chris Voss has a lot of videos on that, how to deliver bad news, though my intent here in this video is specifically to talk about the importance of providing some information. Some news is better than no news. Some information is better than no information. Bad attention is better than no attention. And so delivering bad information. Feels important. I should share a piece on how to deliver bad information to leave everybody on a good note, with different information on how to deliver bad information. So you apologize before, or warn somebody before giving them bad information. Chris gives the example of saying where somebody's been killed. He got a phone call and he was told, sorry, so and so has been killed. So he went on to phone everybody on his contact list to inform the family. And Chris says what it does is it allows somebody to brace for the bad news. Give them 1 to 3 seconds. Sorry, 1, 2, 3. Bad news, bad information, hard subjects. People appreciate. My understanding of it is 3/4 of the brain is dedicated to fear of loss, what I would call embarrassing fear of loss over autonomy. People want to maintain autonomy and they don't want to be embarrassed by it. That's 3/4 of the amygdala is dedicated to being able to maintain autonomy, and it's embarrassing to lose that control. So I think I've hashed this out enough. Trying to keep it short, brief, concise. So, well, I don't know that I can add anything else. So to end on a good note, I'm going to repeat myself and say, warn somebody before giving them bad information. No, people want bad information. People want good information, though at the very least, any information is better than no information. So apologize, warn them before you deliver the hard news. Thanks.